Okay, what's up, everybody? Coach Mike, I am back. First week of July, I'm going to do the halftime report, which covers the first 6 months of the year. Looking at my portfolio, how did it perform? Did I beat the S&P 500? Hint, hint, I did. So that's why I'm kind of smiling, kind of happy this time. But this is something that you guys should be doing in your portfolio. I do it every quarter. So this is just the second quarter or the halftime report of how my stocks did for the first 6 months of the year. And I encourage you to do the same with your own portfolio. If you need some help, book an appointment. I can help you go through your portfolio and measure how it did. So without further ado, let's get started and take a look at the performance of my portfolio for the first 6 months. Just going to share my screen and go with the old school PowerPoint presentation, right? You guys familiar with that? Okay. So this is the Baltimore Stock Market Group. I do this every month. The first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. is a virtual meeting. It's open to all investors, beginners, uh, intermediate, experienced investors. We welcome anyone that is a do-it-yourselfer for the stock market. I'm your host, Coach Mike, founder of Walk On Consultants. Here's my contact info if you'd like to book an appointment. Who do I help? I help the beginners. I really want to get the beginners off the bench and get them into the game. I separate the fact from the fiction. People who've never invested before have all these ideas about what the market is, and I help try to separate what it is and what it isn't. And then there you have the more intermediate or experienced investors who, from time to time, still need help to decide if should they buy something, should they sell something, what do they do? Every great player needs a coach. I don't care if you're Jordan or LeBron or Venus or Serena, right? You still need a coach. So I am your coach. Think of a personal trainer, but not for fitness, but for finance. So I'm your guy. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, I'm the guy that's going to help you get it done. I always start out with a quote from Benjamin Franklin that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And I hope that is why you're here today, so that you can learn something. Just a quick few disclaimers that this is not investment advice. True investment advice takes into consideration a number of different factors about you personally. And today's video is just a general information and knowledge report. There's an intersection of risk and reward, right? And it's different for everybody. How much risk are you willing to take? It's not the same as how much risk somebody else is willing to take. So you need to know where that intersection is for you. The one thing I always tell people is that there are no guarantees when it comes to investing, right? But the one guarantee is that if you don't take any risk, you will get no reward. So just keep that in mind. Lastly, I want to say that some of the data you'll see today and some of my other videos is from a third party. So please don't hold me accountable. I do my research, but I rely on third parties for some of the information. So without further ado, let's get to the halftime report. And you'll see that in the first 6 months of this year, NASDAQ was up 6.2, S&P up 5.85, and the Dow up 4.5%, right? So what does that mean, right? I know a lot of you are saying, okay, Coach Mike, is that good? You know, you throw these numbers at us all the time, but what does that even mean, right? Is that even good? So let's dig a little deeper. The average stock market return in a whole year, right? You can see is about 10%. So if we're in the first 6 months and we're already up 6.2 for NASDAQ and 5.8 for S&P, I'd say, yeah, we're on track to have another pretty good year, right? The Dow up 4.5, okay, fine. But yeah, if we're going to average 10% in a whole year, and these are numbers from the first 6 months, yeah, pretty good. I didn't expect this to be this good. Here's my question is, can the markets do a three-peat? Because 2023 and 2024 were two back-to-back strong, really strong years. Remember, it averages 10% a year. So you got 20% and 20%, two back-to-back years. I really expected this year to be like 6-7% for the whole year. And we're already up 6% for the first 6 months. So I'm like, whoa, this is really up to a good start. I wasn't expecting this because we already had two killer years back to back. So that was the question that I had. So let's dig a little bit deeper and let's take a look at my actual portfolio. This is why you want to attend the meetings, because in the meetings, you get to ask me questions about the individual stocks. Today, I'm just doing a quick recap of what's actually in the portfolio and how did I win, right? So if you have an account with Schwab, which I do, Maybe it's a little different with Fidelity or E-Trade or some of the other brokerage houses, but they allow you to look at your performance and track it, which is so, so important. Clicked on portfolio performance, and then you click on which account, and you put in your time frame. Is it the first 3 months? Is it the last year? Is it year to date? So I did that, and it spits out a report and lets me know how I did. And voila, there you go, 13.32% from January 1st until June 30th. So now look at my numbers versus the S&P. 13.3 versus 6.2 for S&P. Versus only 5.85 for NASDAQ and versus 4.5 for the Dow. So I'd say it's a pretty damn good 6 months for Coach Mike. This is rare. This is not an easy thing to do, but I'm patting myself on the back for killing the market in the first 6 months of the year. But the race is not over. We got to see how I do for the next 6 months of the year. But for the first 6 months, I am winning. So how did I do it? What's in my portfolio? All right, I got an ETF at the top. That's my biggest holding. So I want to say also, what you see here is listed in order of the biggest position to the smallest position in my account. So and the two that are in bold are the ones that perform the best. CrowdStrike, cybersecurity company, up 41%, and then Genius Sports, another tech play. We're in the gambling industry, up 19.43%. But if you notice, it's a pretty diversified portfolio, right? I've got AbbVie, which is a pharmaceutical company. I've got Procter & Gamble, which is a consumer staples company. I've got a little bit of Bitcoin ETF. I got Trupanion, which is an insurance company. I even have another ETF for the energy sector. I've got DraftKings, which is gambling. So I might not have every sector covered, but it's not just one industry. And that's what I try to stress to you guys so much. You got to be diversified. You got to be diversified, because when times are rough, you want to have some stocks that are still going up. Now, one loser I had was Procter & Gamble, but it's a stable company. I'm not worried about Procter & Gamble. But overall, this is the secret sauce to my portfolio. This is how I beat the S&P 500 for the first 6 months of this year. So I talk about diversification a lot, right? Here is a breakdown of the S&P 500. You can see it is heavily dominated by the tech sector. And so is my portfolio as well, right? Not saying that you have to do that, but that was one of the keys to me outperforming the market. Now, you notice I didn't have any healthcare. I didn't have any financials. I don't have any utilities, right? So you don't have to have every sector, but you do need to be diversified. So how that diversification happens is up to you. But I'm telling you, you're going to do better if you are diversified. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Just keep in mind that you need to monitor your portfolio. I talk to so many clients who buy a stock and just never look at it again. That's not the way to win. I'm not saying you got to be a daily checking in every single day. No, don't. But you got to at least weekly or monthly or quarterly check into your portfolio. I mean, you get the oil change in your car, don't you? Every 3,000 miles, right? You go to a doctor's appointment every year, don't you? I hope you do, right? So why not do the same thing for your portfolio? Review the winners and the losers. Make some adjustments, right? There may be some losers that you need to get rid of. So that's how you have a good winning portfolio. And then you're going to look at it and make a decision. If it's a good one, do I buy some more, right? Do I sell the losers? Do I hold on to the just mediocre ones? Because give it time, they're gonna be some winners. But doesn't mean just because it performed just average, do I sell it? No, maybe you just hold on to it. And this is the rhythm that you need to have with your brokerage account. You're looking at your stocks, making a decision, buy, sell, hold. Okay. If it's too much, hit me up. Let's book an appointment. I will help you through the process. Last message here is that learning is a journey. It is not a destination. You're never going to get there. I've been in the market since the 90s. I still learn new stuff all the time. Believe it or not, in the 90s, there was no such thing as Bitcoin. Okay. There's no such thing as cryptocurrency. You got to continuously learn new things. And that's my message to you today, is that learning is a journey. It is not a destination. So looking forward to talking with you guys next week, next month. Leave your comments down below about some of my stocks or questions you may have about your portfolio. If you need to book an appointment, here's my contact info. I'd love to do a free, no strings attached consultation to see if I'm the right guy for you. This is Coach Mike signing off. Thank you guys very much for listening, and I will see you guys next month.